Hello! Finally live. The time is 17:54. Technic Nerd is jumping on around 8:30 UK time, so hopefully we get that sorted before he jumps on. Yo, Finks. What? Why does that not look right cracking on that? On ultra low latency, it must just be my net. Yo, George. Aid it. Welcome, mate. So this one is a Corey Dreams. Yo, buddy. So this one is a Xbox One X board sent in by George. Well, this no display, George. Keith, welcome, mate. Hopefully I can get this looked at and sorted before Technic Nerd jumps on stream. That way I'm not running into that gent's stream time, because I'm nice like that. Move some of these bits. Yes, so no display. So I've had to dig out a few bits and pieces, because I believe George has sent me the board, disk drive board and the hard drive, in case we get display. So I've cut rest of my address off, but I thought I'd leave the bit on that George addressed it to, which was indeed Uncle Fester. Don't lean too far back on your chair, Chris. We all know how well that goes. Don't think I need that for now. Hard drive. Oh, that may be a bit of a shocker. Let me just plug that in there, switch to voltage mode. I've not got my meter running for on screen, so I'll boot that up. Port set. COM3, it should be. Yeah. Reload OBS. Select that one for the multimeter. That puts that on. I may not have a working power supply. I seem to have scribbled on this one on here in pen. Needs to be fixed. And I think that is the only one I've got, which means I must have used my good power supply on something else. But we'll drop that down. Get my meter probes. I'm set to voltage mode. Yeah, that ain't good. Make one from an SPSU. It's more for the prongs, mate. I didn't plan on delving into PSU repair. Make one from an SPSU. What other method can I use? Let's open the PSU. Works if you cut right end of the box open. Uh, 12 volt from power supply. Yes, that's what I'm considering, mate. Let's see what we've got. So we've got disk drive board, hard drive and the caddy with the cable attached. That would come in very handy. It means I don't have to use mine. I can get mine out of there. Yo, Coda, or should I say Codger. Old Codger is in on the spraying. Do away with that over there for now. Scrap that because it ain't working. Bring my heatsink block in. Put it on the right way around, it helps. Not good when you're rushing. Slow down, Mr. C. Over there. Does a standard 1X clamp fit? I believe so. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Can't you tell I'm unorganised? Just a little, they say, just a little. Plug that stuff on there, work out which one of these is ground. I can't remember. Not that one, so it must be that one. So that's ground and that's positive. Right. 2 seconds. That comes in handy. Does that one go in there? No. Does it unbug? Which means I'm going to have to use my meter leads because they're the only ones I have skinny enough That down there. Don't know if my meter leads. Don't know if my meter leads that I use reach. Yeah, they do. That comes in handy. Voltage. Oh, I need a power panel out as well, don't I? Right, 2 seconds. Power panel. Not in there. Not on there. Evening, Steve, Paul, Dad, David, should I say, and Mr. B. Welcome. That should be in there. That's in there. Do we have power? Do I need to turn my amps up? Yeah, I'm good, mate. Console, capture card. Deactivate and reactivate. Nothing on screen, so we are definitely not getting a display. The weird thing is the console's actually drawing 5.3 amps. And I don't think it should be. Oh, now it's dropped down to 3.6 amps. So let's go back to the overhead. Let's unplug that. Where's my little HDMI gizmo? Let's plug HDMI gizmo in. Let's move that away from any of that where it might be. No, them ones fit in my multimeter. Please say you do, because my test leads are in the power supply. Nice snug fit. Do we have? We have nothing. You swine. So them ones don't fit in there. Drop down there. Do these leads fit? Meter leads everywhere. I'm almost certain a pair of these should fit. But we get no reading. Why do we get no reading? Because they're not making a good connection. Test leads. Do I have more test leads? Can I use they won't fit in there. They won't fit in there, so I can't use them to power on the system. Can't use power supply. Should have some more test leads kicking about, but I'm not sure where they are. So, because I'm not sure where they are, we'll bring in the reserve meter. That's what we'll do. We'll bring in the reserve multimeter. Solder wires for 12 volts on yeah, I'll just throw this in the on the reserve meter for now. So disorganized today, it's unbelievable. Make sure that's working on that. Yes, we have 12 volts on that. So what do we have on pin 19? We have nothing on pin 19 that side. We have 5 volts on pin 18. And we have nothing on pin 19. Evening, Alan. So we have nothing on pin 19. You know what that means, don't you? Oh, the code is here. It's not likely to be the redriver dreams. Suited and booted. Welcome, Wayne. Yes, mate. Suited and booted. I am indeed on call. You want to take your time powering off? I'll just shut you off. How does that sound? Get that ESD reballed. Yeah. I was kind of hoping for something simple, mate. Was kind of hoping for something simples. Where's my... There you are, never mind. I've got you. I'm so not with it today. I am so not with it at all. Can somebody tell me what the ESD is? It is electronic static discharge or something. I can't really remember, but I can show you what it is. The ESD is this IC just here, mate. Pin 19 is 5 volt pass through the ESD. Pin 18 is TDP 159. Yeah. So I can't even remember last time I seriously looked at scamming there. The ESD is that one just there. Pin 19 is on. Pin 19 is on this trace here, which leads to pin 1 of the ESD. What I can't remember is which. I think it goes to that point just there and then through the other side of the board. But I can't remember. It is possible, Steve. It is possible that if the HDMI port has been changed, it is possible that we've got a bad connection from pin 19. But I'm finding that doubtful. I think George said the only thing that had been changed on this was the retimer. So it could well be the ESD. Electrostatic discharge, that's the one. Where you gone? There you are. Let's just take a look and see if we can. There's definitely no There's definitely no bridge under that. It looks fine and dandy, so it is either likely to be blown or let me see if I can remember which one. Does it go through? Does it go through the board? What's gonna be the easiest way for me to find out without pulling my ball missing? Ball missing on what, mate? Is that common on the Xbox? I wouldn't necessarily say that they're common, but they are known to blow. I did knock a cap off. No, Wayne. I don't believe there is a ball missing, mate. The ESDs on these aren't fully populated with balls. So I'm assuming you mean that cap just there. To be fair, that area doesn't look clever, George. That area doesn't look clever at all. Right, that makes sense. Less balls for you to have to play with. I didn't really fancy playing with any balls, mate. I mean that's not the. Yeah, it does look bad. I wouldn't see it making much of a difference because they're all on that one same trace. And we have 5 volts. We do have 5 volts to the pin 18. But we can replace that. I pull in my Donny board. So we can change them unless it was shorted to ground. Wouldn't think it being shorted to ground, but we're I am so disorganized today. No shorts on that. No shorts on that. So it shouldn't necessarily make much of a difference, but as I say, we can change it. That's the cap I knocked off. Was a pain putting it back. How lined up are we? On that. Oh, there's a few pins there not touching on the TDP 158. I don't. Does the chip have a hole in the center? That will be a little downward pressure dent, mate, on that chip. I need to bob that in there. Let's apply some heat and flux to that area. Let's pull those. Let's pull those. Let's pull that center cap. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw, but don't know if I can adjust. Right, cracking, but if you take a look at that, it's not actually quite flat. Isn't that? So I may get away with without having to reball an ESD after all. Let me try and get that into a little focus for you guys. Tweezers. Nah, not bad at all, George. Not bad at all, mate. You did a fine job with the scope you've got, mate, to be fair. George goes down. Let's flux her up a little bit. We're going to pull that cap anyway. I'm going to knock my air down to 25%. That way it shouldn't want to blow all the flux away. We'll pull that off for starters. We'll apply a bit of pressure to that. We'll then get the iron all plugged in and fancied up. Yo, Nick, welcome, mate. Well, splash a bit more of that fancy stuff down. I'll readjust temp on my iron. I can't really remember what I was doing with it last. That's that one covered. That's that one covered. I'll just keep flipping the board. That should be that side. And that should be that side. So we've left that we're still not forced to get any voltage on pin 19. But seriously, I cannot remember. I think George may be a little gutted if this is all it is. Let's now take a look at that side. It's a little better. We are now connected. We're gone. We are. Have you gone again? I know you're there somewhere. Yeah, so they are now connected. I believe that is flat. Is this? Is this the chip that makes the lesser voltage power rails from the mains? No, mate, this is the redriver, HDMI redriver chip. This is basically what handles the signals for the differential pairs, differential lines, data lines, whichever way you would like to call them. I think if this now runs, I think George is possibly gonna kick himself a little. Cap still missing. Yeah, it shouldn't make much difference on that cap, mate. Not at this moment in time. I will reflow that cap into place before it, or not necessarily that particular cap, but a replacement cap. I will reflow in before this goes back up to George. Yeah, that was the right way round. Let's just go straight for it working. Might not do. But let's just try it. Console capture card, fire my bench power supply back on. We have 11.9 volts. And we have power. Do we get a display? Probably not. No, we do. The display is there. Oh, Georgie. Georgie. I'm not going to take credit for that, Mr. B, because I've not done anything. That is because there is no fan. Let me knock that off for the time being. George. What can I say? They all flow down here, mate. They all flow down here. Notice I did rephrase that from float to flow. Rookie Georgie. There is that, George. And to be fair, I am going to say, to be fair, the job wasn't too bad, mate. Considering the scope you use, I am going to say that the job wasn't bad at all. Right, that's in there. Turn the power back on. Saying that, it was booting in, wasn't it? So we don't necessarily need the disk drive board. Chris, George want to order a coffee off you, mate. Yeah, I can sort one of them out. I'm sure we can sort that out, George. I've been on for 45 minutes. We're not gonna have sync on this. God damn it. What did I do with my controller? Yeah, we're not bothered that you're designed to shut down from insufficient ventilation. So we shall. Now I am so disorganized today. We need a Wi-Fi. Where is my wallet? No, can't find it. I can't find my card. That's upside down, so that will go in that way, like that. That will plug in there like that, and we can hit continue. Okay, I have a serious question for you. I thought this serious. Who's the question for, mate? Me or George? We have 4K displaying, so we have all our resolutions. Nothing, Asta. Nothing, mate. Earlier I had a switch with no video output. Issue was M92, but everything else worked. Now I have a switch light with a well, yo Gibbo, personally, I mean the customer's paying for it, so oops, that's another controller I have to fix. Personally, the customer's paying for it, so I'd be inclined to replace with a new M92, mate. Oh, in which case, if it's not a customer's and it's family, in which case, by all means, I'd say yes. Because if it fails later on, they're only going to come back to you for it repairing anyway. So I'd say yeah. On that thing of not using second hand. Sometimes it's not possible not to use a donor chip on these. Not everything is readily available, so sometimes we don't have a choice. But M92 is available. So if it had been a customer's, then I would have said, I would have not necessarily obviously have said to change it for a new one, because ultimately that's your choice. But I would have put a new one on if it had been me and it had been for a customer. But as it's for family, if it goes faulty, bearing in mind you're not going to charge family members the same as you might charge a customer. You're not necessarily having to offer warranty to a family member, because if it goes faulty, it's just going to come back to you. You're going to do it for next to nothing again. That's how it works, I think. Yeah, that's what I mean, mate. I mean, I do odd bits and pieces where I don't necessarily charge, but it all depends on who it's for, ultimately. Not all my family members get preferential treatment. Luckily, not all my family members are going to be watching this. So it should be good. Yes, Danny. Yes, I agree, mate. So that is still running. We've got fan spin. And I've not really done anything, but I will say it's interesting that we didn't have voltage on pin 19. I am going to send them all a link. Alan. Chris's family have just texted each other. Yeah. Yeah, midnight. Fuck them. What difference does it make? Anyway, what I was saying was, it's interesting that we didn't have voltage on pin 19. Down to that IC not being flat or not being connected fully. So yes, streams, that's what I was getting at that specific point, mate. The pin 19 voltage must either come from the TDP 158 through the ESD IC and then onto the port, or it comes through TDP 158. Yes, mate. So that's interesting to know that even actually saying that pin 19 is HDMI return. Pin 19 is hot plug detect, mate. So if there's no voltage on pin 19, the TV or monitor won't detect the HDMI is plugged in. Possibly same difference, just two different explanations. There may have been some voltage on pin 19 without the without the TDP 158 installed correctly, if the HDMI lead from the TV supplied a little bit of voltage, mate, but when I tested with the little HDMI pinout, test board, whatever you want to call it, I tested with that, so that doesn't supply any voltage as if it's plugged in to the TV. You could. Initially that's to make your own HDMI lead. So initially you could cut the end of one of them plugs off and wire all these up so that that'd plug in and you'd be able to test whilst it was plugged in and running. So yes, goes to pin 28 via the ESD. Was pin 28 connected? But saying that, it'll go through a different pin, I'm assuming, on the TDP 158. The back end trace might run from pin 28 to the ESD, but it may have needed information on a different pin, or voltage, or data, or whatever you want to call it. So pin 28 was floating, I think. I'd have to look back at that, mate, but that is possible. There was a fair few pins floating. Let me connect this controller back up and then I can shut this down properly. When I can see the screen. That's that off. Well, that switch light is working with that M92. Yeah, there's no wrong with it, mate. Not, as I say, not especially if it's not a family, especially if it's a family member. I mean, most of the repairs are going to come to you anyway. So, should there be anything goes wrong with that, chip, then it will more than likely come back round to kick you up the arse. Think it was that corner, 27, 28, 29. I can't remember. I thought it was the first side. Was that yours, George? Is that your disk drive board? Did I put that there? I can't remember. My noggin is, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. So let's put this back off. Pop that there. Put that the right way round, so I know which way she goes. Let's switch that over. Yeah, so I thought it was old. Yes, mate, I agree. Old age. Very much so. I thought the side that were floating were this side. Which is pin 1 here, so you've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would have been more that side. Didn't think this side were floating, but I can't remember. Lack of coffee, yes. Does it matter about that cactus? Not necessarily. It's not gonna. It missing isn't gonna hurt anything. However, because we love you, George. Just because we love you, mate. We're gonna flow one on. That one there should be enough to get into there. Little bit of that fluxy stuff down. I want to remove a little bit of solder. Be right back. It's 4:20. No problem. I want to remove a little bit of that solder stuff. I want to pull this board here in and remove said capacitor. Out, them tweezers are a little bit warm. There we go. That's that one off. Drop that down there. We can smudge that in place. We can drop that down to 5%. And we can make sure it doesn't move too much. I'll grab that for now. Let's switch that back because that tip really is dying. And let's just touch that end up. It's a good job, Travis comments. Made me get it to check the software. Have I missed saying hello to Travis? If I have, hello Travis. I apologise for just double that onto there. And just touch that end. Lovely jubbly. Plenty of that. Cleaning stuff. We are on 7 PM, which means that in 1 hour and 30 minutes Technic will be streaming that is that. Doesn't have to be fantastico as it works. Did mention to some oh god, names I'm not that cracking with. Joey JD on the Discord group. To test these, you can go in ohms mode or continuity mode. But these are the ESD DFNs, which is what I class them as. They are similar to a filter, but they work a different way from a PS4. This trace is passive on this component, so whether this is in place or not, you'll still get a picture. So testing from there to there will give you continuity, but if you test from there to there, you should not get continuity, mate. Which is how these are tested. These are tested side to side and ground to each of them 4 pins. Centre one is ground. I'm not really done out, mate, other than reflow that I see and do that. I'm a little bit I'm a little bit disappointed, mate, to be fair, and I'm gonna alliterate on that. I am not disappointed with you. I'm disappointed that it wants something a little bit more exciting to repair. Easy 50 quid. No dreams. How many pads did we have missing off of this, mate? Just 2. Were there only 2 pads missing off of that? No, don't be disappointed, George. Don't be disappointed, mate. Don't be disappointed, mate. It's an easy thing to do, especially with those digital scopes, mate. They don't necessarily get in as close as what the others do. But that's about all I had. I have a switch port to do, but I'm gonna do that and record a video. Had George not have caked that up in solder mask, may try and scratch some of that off and see if I can put a sync connector on it for him. That way he can use the front USB and sync. But yes, George, do not be disappointed in yourself, my friend. Easy thing to do. On the plus side, it saves me pulling off my one and only donut ESD, which I've got here. Don't inform Mr. Codger because he'll be after pinching it. I'm using a 7 to 45 times Tri-Knock, which is sat on my desk getting mighty dusty. Look at that, disgusting. Ah, what a shame. It is manufactured by Copace, K-O-P-P-A-C-E. There's me, my striped trousers. Better zoom back in or Danny will be getting massively excited at the sight of my crotch. So that's pretty much all I was going to do. I was going to look at that, replace the redriver if it required it, replace the ESD if it required it. Not sure how easy not sure how easy it will be to scratch all of that off. How easy is it going to be to scratch all of that off and throw down a couple of the Wiley trace repair tabs? Don't often attempt to remove solder mask. I mainly like to apply it. So I may look at that tomorrow. IPA removes it. That's nice to know. So I may splash it with IPA and give it some scratching. Not really. I'm gonna say I've not really got time. Sure, if you remember, me and these trace repair tabs don't get along that easy. There's a couple to put on there, and Technic Nerd is streaming at 8:30 UK time. So I'd like to be off stream for that. That way I don't keep many of you guys occupied. And maybe we'll all bump into each other there. I'll be streaming soon. I'll be streaming soon too. Sorry, I put it off all day. So there you have it. We have a stream from Technic Nerd, and we have a stream coming up from the Codger. So that connector I will do in my time off stream, I think. Some do dreams, some do, some don't, mate. You only become monetized after hitting so many subs, so many public watch hours. I'm not in a rush for mine to shoot up to that yet, but it's more just out of general respect for other streamers, mate, as well. So I won't just jump on and stream while somebody else is streaming. I did kind of have the stream planned, but I didn't have anything set in stone. I didn't schedule the stream, and others may not have seen that, and they scheduled the stream, mate. So it's more just out of respect for other streamers. Yes, Wayne, it's all working. The TDP 5158 wasn't sitting quite flat, mate, and it wasn't connected on all pads. Yeah, I mean it's not necessarily that. Yours, it's not necessarily that. If I'm watching a streamer already and it's a live stream and somebody else streams, I won't leave the stream that I'm watching until that streamer's done. And then if the other streamer that came on after is still streaming when the first streamer ends, I'll then join that one, and obviously watch till they finish or whatever. But yeah, it's just more of a respect thing. It's bollocks, you were wrong. You guaranteed it. Yeah, I do, George, but I do dreams, but I'm finding it a little hard these days to get caught up, mate. Guaranteed what, mate? What's yeah. Winding Phillies up. Why not, mate? Why not? I didn't know the chip had been screwed up by rookie Georgie. No, it had. It wasn't screwed up, mate. It wasn't screwed up. Same chip. Yeah, it's income, mate, but he earns enough. Well, that's more or less. That's the same reason I'm not in a rush to build up viewers after viewers after viewers, mate, or subs after subs after subs. I'm not in a rush. Up to now, I'm still settling into YouTube. I'm far from used to using YouTube. Very rarely do I upload videos because I'm not right cracking at editing yet. That is a yet. But yeah, for me it's just fun. I come out, have a look at a board, have a potential win or fix or lose. Who cares? And I get to hang out with you guys on chat, which make it fun. You know, and that's just how it is. Yes, mate. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I don't mind either way. Thanks, Obi-Wan. As I say, I don't mind. You know, it's not It's not a battle for me. It's not a battle to push another stream out or anything like that. It's the world we live in. We all have to get along. We all have to be friendly as a community. At some point we all require help from each other, and sometimes if bridges are burnt by what's the word? If bridges are burnt by greed, then it just kind of kills the community at the end of the day. So we it is what it is. But for now, I'm disappointed. Not disappointed in George, but disappointed in the fact I didn't have something more interesting. Would have really been nice to have come across something different. Are we in therapy? Yes, mate. Yes, it's therapy session time. So I'll have a go at getting that off. The solder mask, I may jump on another live stream when we come to doing this. It will be during the day, one of the days this week, possibly tomorrow, and during the day for the reason that I am on call, and I know I will not be disturbed. That's funny, that Oz, because I watch Wayne Break stuff as well, mate. But win or lose, it's all fun. It is all fun. Yes, mate, yes. Thank you, please do. Please send something that's massively screwed up next time, George. Chris, you got to test it later. Fire up for COD. Now let's just before we dart off. So, Mr. Codger, this was that one S all digital, mate, that I nearly killed. You remember that stream where I got a copyright strike, mate? This was that 1S, mate. 1S all digital. The one that required the RAM reflow. Been sat there. Yes, the one that I warped, mate. Yes, indeed. Yes, the Sound of Music one. Yes, yes. Back off. The copyright strike one. I've got some videos to edit on this, and then I need to upload them to YouTube. Yo, Hulk. You and me both, mate. I would have. It would have made me laugh as well. I need to cut down on my swearing. There's a USB port somewhere there. Who's playing today? Cass Nightwolf's playing today. Yo, LER. Yes. Thanks for coming, David. Hopefully see you in the Codger stream or Technic Nerds. So that is the my stream in a few minutes. Jump on, mate. All the resolutions. I've loaded my own personal account on this. The reason for doing that is because I essentially warped the board. I'm going to run that a little while. I'm going to run that a little while myself. Just to make sure everything is fine and dandy. Before getting rid of it. I may as well leave that there. Yeah, so I've got two accounts, Mr. B. I have Cass Nightwolf, which is my own account, personal account from when I used to do more playing than repairing, and then I have Castle Fix. Mainly both because I'm from the area of Castleford. What was wrong with George's board? It was the TDP 158 not laying flat and not fully connected, mate. That's it. So other than that, he did a smashing job. The alignment of the chip was nicely aligned, just not quite sitting flush. Yeah, the castle is just basically where I'm from, mate. Little town called no, I'm gonna rephrase that. I'm gonna say a shitty town called Castleford. At least he didn't rip 7 pads. There is that, Wayne. Although that would have made for more interesting repair, mate. So next time, George, just scratch a few of them pads off, mate, as if they've been pulled. Snap them, break them. Right, guys, so I'm now going to dart off. What time are you on, Phil? Yeah, there's no shame in admitting mistakes, mate. No shame at all. The OSU loaded in Asta on George's, mate. So I'm assuming it will update at some point. As long as I don't get the boards mixed up, all should be good. Not too long, Chris. Just putting Cody to bed. Yes, nice one. We shall see you there. While you're on Dreams, are you any closer, mate? You any closer to setting one up? Channel. I like to see people's different techniques. My technique might be different to another, and so on and so forth. I actually like to see people's different techniques. Steve B, this gentleman has a channel and it is quite interesting. Steve B likes to shout at people when they're using too much heat for tinning up. Things like that, depends on what board you're working on. Yes, these like to drain a lot of heat, but if you have had the airflow on, the board's already hot. 480 might be a little bit too high for tinning, while the board is already juiced. And I'm going to say it doesn't necessarily shout at people, but offers advice, which is always good. I'm throwing crap all over, plugging my test leads back into my multimeter. So yeah, it don't necessarily shout. It's not one for telling people off, but advice is always good, only when it's bad. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen, Alan. Not at all. Not at 7:30, mate. It is too late for me. My technique is to send 50%. My technique is to send 50% correct equipment to Chris and confuse him with the other 50. Yes. 50% correct and 50% wrong would equal 62% fail. Oh dear. Right. Only good thing from Northridge is, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I still watch Northridge Fix occasionally. It's not, for me, it's not a case of the guy is terrible, you know. He does do some cracking work. It would be nice to see more fails from Northridge Fix on YouTube too. Not everybody has 100% win record, but I commented on a UV light. Did anybody see that UV light? The 6 second and set. I commented on that, and I could have been wrong in what I said, but I never received a response on that either. And for me, it didn't look like it was set in 6 seconds. It still looked wet on the top. Yeah, that one, Dreams, the nine quid one from Ali. I mean, I've nothing wrong with the guy posting stuff like that on YouTube, but for me it can't. If I was selling a product, or if I was selling something that I got in from AliExpress, if I were going to be a shipper of that item or whatever, I'd prefer to send an item out to somebody else to review it. I just don't think it's gonna come across an honest review. If that person is selling the item in the first place. Chris, after let me know. Stream you're watching as isolated for 7 days. I'll be tuning into the Coda, mate. There is a few that'll be, or a couple that'll be streaming. Yeah, that was the same on Mind Dreams. I don't think anybody commented on it. I don't think anybody commented on it or anything. That it may have been the way that I may have come across. Didn't necessarily need to come across. Didn't necessarily mean to come across how I may have done. It was just more. Surely it can't be seen as a true review of an item if that item's been sold by the person that's reviewing it. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it there, ladies and gents. If I didn't say, you can, Jaden, you can comment on mine. Oh no, you can't, can you? Sorry, I don't see them. That's why you had that other one set up. Yes, Coda, that was the 10 watt UV torch, mate. Don't get me wrong, it looks a good product. Doesn't necessarily look to set in the 6 seconds that was stated. But again, it's just would bias, it being a bias review, be the right term to use. So I am going to shoot off. Hopefully we all see you on the Coda stream. Can I grab? No, probably not. There is, or should be, a link to the description, in the description, sorry, to the Coda stream. Take it easy, Baldy. Okay, Codge. I'm going back to calling you the Codger now. Old man. Go fix your walking stick. And then hand it to Sarah, and I'm sure Sarah will happily smack you with it. Anyway, calling it end there. If you enjoyed the stream, not the therapy session, please give a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the therapy session, please give a thumbs down. Don't make no difference to me which you choose. If you're not subbed and you would like to be, please hit the subscription button. I'm still shit at this job. But yeah, should be a link in the description for Coda's channel. That's where we'll be heading over very shortly. Should see everybody in there. Later guys.